3D platformer Ginger Beyond the Crystal has made its way over to the Nintendo Switch, but does this version truly end up shining like a crystal, or is this one beyond saving? Ginger is a pretty simple 3D platformer. In it, you're playing as the titular character who's traveling from village to village, bringing its citizens back and rebuilding its buildings. By doing this, you'll open up portals to new levels. The game is broken up into 15 different levels that take part in 3 different hub environments. In these hub areas or villages, you'll be able to travel around. This is where you're able to pick which new buildings that you want to build up, spend your crystals to bring the citizens back, and eventually complete the goal of each of the villages, as well as complete the game's subquest. Once you've brought enough citizens back and built up a town, you'll open up a portal to the next stage. Completing that level by getting the red crystal at the end of it will then open up the next level as long as you've met the minimum requirements of saving enough villagers in that particular town. The game's main 15 missions will have you exploring in 2D and 3D platforming, while sometimes completing secondary objectives like finding cheese within a mine to give to a rat to open up a gate, or finding honey for a beekeeper. A lot of times you'll have to complete these goals in order to eventually get to the red crystal, which basically signifies the end of a particular stage. The core platforming works pretty well, though sometimes it can be a bit difficult to see exactly where you're going to land with your jump, and the camera can be a bit finicky. While you do have control of it at all times, automatically it will kind of get stuck and locked in certain positions where it can be difficult in more intense platforming moments to get the camera exactly where you would like it. The main quests are definitely the big draw for this game, but even they can get a bit boring as you make it farther in. When you're collecting a lot of items and just bringing them back to a character and doing this level to level, even with the different themes and light puzzle elements thrown in, it overall can still get a bit tiresome. Outside of the main quest though, you do have bonus levels that are very much like Super Mario Sunshine or Galaxy, where you're traversing over a series of floating platforms, and in this case trying to collect red crystals in order to complete them. You also have the side quest to complete. Here, villagers are going to give you a random task, like defeating a certain number of enemies in the village, or collect a number of items. Pretty much always collect a certain number of items, apples, carrots, sometimes honey. And you'll be doing this over and over again throughout all the villages, and you're rewarded with a bit of resources that you can then use to build up the town itself. So really, while there is a lot of side quests, there's not a lot of variety at all to them, and they aren't necessary. The building of the village itself is pretty basic. You'll have already predetermined locations for all the buildings. You just gotta go up to them with the right resources and select which of the 4 or so types of buildings you want to put in that particular location. One cool gimmick in the game is the costumes. You'll get a lot of these throughout the game, but each costume basically just has one thing that it's able to do, and a lot of times it's just a stagnant thing where there's a certain gate or a door that you can't go through, but you'll have to shrink down in size using the mouse costume, and then you're able to go through it. While you can use some of the abilities outside of these particular tasks, for the most part, they just work as a way to get past these certain barriers. The game is pretty lax in its difficulty, plenty of checkpoints scattered throughout, as well as a lot of the goals you complete won't be reset when you end up dying, so you don't have to really worry about losing too much progress. From technical side of things though, the game didn't crash on me, but it doesn't run well, especially this Nintendo Switch version. It was slowing up a lot. There's some real severe frame rate issues, tons of texture pop-in, the load times are really bad, being as low as 20 seconds or as high as a minute for certain load times. I also ran into a number of graphical glitches, things clipping, my character getting knocked out of bounds during battle, as well as other little minor things here and there. Ginger Beyond the Crystal is available now on the Nintendo Switch for $19.99. It is also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Overall, Ginger Beyond the Crystal is a pretty basic 3D platformer. It may be great for some younger audience members out there, or those new to 3D platforming in general, but on a system with the likes of Mario Odyssey, it's a hard recommend, especially at its $19.99 price point. With everything said though, I'm going to be giving Ginger Beyond the Crystal an okay 5 out of 10. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.